Yeah, especially you, Robbie. Very, very high critique.
Published critic.
What's going on, guys? Man, I am glad to be here hosting the best comics of the month live stream that everyone wants us to turn into a weekly show. But
Is that what this? I thought we were doing the battle draft. I gotta change my notes.
we are. I got my notes just chilling. I didn't even finish. I gotta finish my team because I was like, after we got extra time, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna switch some things around. But we're waiting on Bob, man. Whenever is good for him is, as long as it's Friday or Saturday or whatever, we'll figure it out. But yeah, we're all excited for that too. But it's been crazy. But like I said, I'm glad to be here with these fine gentlemen, my man Robbie, my main man Bob, and the main man himself, Bueller. Hey, Bueller.
Hello.
Yeah. So,
how you doing?
Hey, Bueller. We had some great books this month. Great books. I was trying to look back and think of what came out this month because I was reading a lot from this last week, obviously, and man, we just keep having some heavy hitters come out, and it's a great time to be collecting. As my man Fable would say, it might be the best time to be collecting, and yeah, man. So, how you guys been doing? How's your month been?
I've had a rough month. I had some health issues, and then I had a family emergency, and so that's why I had to cancel the battle draft. And it's just been, one thing after another. I'm actually a little behind on my reading.
Me too.
I am very happy to be here and hang out with you guys because I love doing this. This is awesome stuff. But you're right. There's a lot of great comics that came out, and I would agree. I think it's a great time to be a collector.
I'm glad you're here, Bob, man. Yeah, it's been crazy for a lot of people, man. I just hope things get better. So, it's been a wicked year, man. That it has.
To put it lightly.
For real. You guys know me and Robbie been doing our horror streams, and we just reviewed all the Romero Dead films last night. That was a blast. 3 straight hours of nothing but horror talk. And checking out Reanimator next week, so that's going to be a lot of fun. We got to figure out one to do on my channel, to just get, do the I think it was the Monster Squad we were talking about.
Yeah.
So I was trying to think, how we did it. Didn't we all do kind of a top 3 or something last time? Wasn't it? Didn't we do, I forget how we kind of.
Well, last time on my channel, I just kind of went around and everybody talked about a book. And then we just kept going until our time was up. That's how I did it.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I
don't care. Broke it up into all these crazy questions, like what was your favorite Marvel? What was your biggest surprise of the month? I was like, wow, this is clever. But me and Bueller are just like, what book you want to talk about?
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about? Let's do. But this is your show, Dylan. You can do it however you want.
Yeah, however you want. You are in charge.
You can make us answer trivia.
Yeah. If you want one of us to not talk the whole time, you can do that.
Yeah, if you just want somebody to eat candy the entire time, just let us know. We got you covered.
I just put them on mute. So I guess I'll have Robbie start first, man, and we'll go around to Bueller second, Bob, and then come around to me last. What would have been one of your favorite books of this past month?
How about my absolute favorite book of the month? Pick of the month.
Yeah. I knew it. I had it right here. That's why I wanted to let you go first. I didn't want to take it from you. It's only one for you.
Tynion is the writer of the year. I mean, this guy is nailing it on Batman and keeping everybody happy there. He is doing great independent work like Something is Killing the Children and now Department of Truth. Holy crap. I think this is the most successful book he's ever done. And it's really just top notch. First of all, you got Martin Simmons doing the artwork, and it's beautiful. It's gritty. It's got texture to it. It really fits the tone. And zany. It's zany, but not in a quirky way. It's zany in a really kind of like Vertigo type way. It feels like early Vertigo, right? It's about conspiracy theories. It's Teen Dog Shades appropriate. You know we always love that stuff over at PCP. And it's got a great hook and twist, and it basically ties all the conspiracy theories together in what I thought was a really brilliant idea behind it. And I'm really excited to see where it goes. The artwork, the writing, and the lettering. Aditya Bidikar is the best letterer in comics right now, and this book will 100% prove to you why. His lettering is such an integral part of the tone and nature of this story. I freaking love it. It was my favorite book of the month, and it just sold me.
So here's the deal. I want to talk about this book, so I want to spoil it. I'll just flat out. I mean, it's been out a few days. I'd like to talk about this book, and if it's okay with you guys, I'll talk some spoilers on this book.
Typically, that's what we do, right? So
yeah. So
I want to get into it for real too.
I read it the other day and kind of thought it was so good. The artwork reminded me of Arkham Asylum type style. Some of you guys will remember that book,
like Dave McKean. Yeah.
Yep. And so I kind of like that. That artwork doesn't work on everything, but it works on this type of book.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed it, but it different than what I thought, because I originally thought, they're going to be investigating these things. They're going to be investigating, these conspiracy theories. But the twist is, these conspiracy theories, as far as what I pick up, is the more people believe them, the more they start to become true. And am I reading that right? Is that kind of what's going on in the book?
Yeah, the nature of reality changes based on the belief of the populace.
Yeah.
Right.
So I thought that was real. I didn't expect that at all. I thought it was just going to be investigating these theories and these things actually happen. And then to find out that these things are manifesting, even though they didn't happen, but so many people are starting to believe them, like flat Earth. It's starting to come true, and it's like, I didn't expect that. So I thought that was a great twist in the book, and that hooked me right away.
Yeah, but the biggest twist of all is the fact that it's Lee Harvey Oswald sitting there. And so you talk about a conspiracy theory, manifested. It's right there. I thought it was so cool that his partner was named Ruby.
Yeah,
that was a subtle nod. But I mean, that was the big twist in the book. I was blown away by the last page. The whole thing was great all the way through. I mean, really well put together. It flowed. The artwork, to me, that grittiness and that painted style almost had a dreamy feel to it. So as the main character is being interrogated, and there's a bit of unbelief on his part, like, what am I going through here? And the artwork kind of lent to that. It gave that whole feeling that, as I was reading the book, it putting me right there with the main character. And then to have it end the way that it did, it really hooked me. I thought it was just a masterful book. It really was.
Does the woman in red represent anything? You guys pick up on that?
I don't know what she is yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she's probably going to be some kind of opposing force, right? At least in the beginning, that's how it should be set up or something. So, and I like how in the symbol, they're always showing her with her eyes like X'd out or whatever.
Yeah.
You see JFK with his eyes. And then there was the 1 in 10 secret variant. If people saw that of Lee Harvey, I think it was Lee Harvey Oswald on that one, right?
Yeah.
And
I grabbed that copy by accident. I didn't even realize it.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
So go ahead.
Well, I was going to say also what I like about it is it's dealing with these conspiracy theories, and that's cool in and of itself. But it's also really getting into why people like getting into conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Like when you see the dudes that are watching the footage of the moon, and it's almost like they're all gathered together watching like a dirty movie or something, and they all like get like excited when it deals into this idea, because in this world that we're living in, where there's so much information, there's so many beliefs are coming out like this. They're getting a lot of strong stuff. Now, conspiracy theories are real, but like the majority of them are complete nonsense, like flat Earth, right? But like when now you have people now convinced that this is real, and I love the idea that it's exploring what it is that makes these things so appealing and the danger of that.
Yeah, absolutely. There's one of the things that I picked up on. I don't know if you guys, and this is just a theory I'm throwing out there, but the woman in red was a piece of it. The other piece of it was what you just said, Robbie, how they were getting excited about these things. The two men that start basically interrogating him, taking him down that road. There's a panel on there where you can see their reflection in his glasses, and in that reflection, they both look kind of like vampires. Now, I don't know if you picked that up or not. And And in the midst of that, I'm wondering if there's a certain percentage of people who are feeding off of this stuff, and that's playing. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there, but they really look like a couple of vampires inside of his reflection. And the woman the other thing, and the thing is the woman in red that's painted red. So I think maybe there's something there.
I mean, look how striking red is used in the design work.
Yeah.
So the red is very important when you start paying attention to it. Kind of like in Three Jokers, the red is a very important color that's used.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Now this is an ongoing series, right? This is not a limited run. This is going for a while, correct?
You never know. They don't. It's like they never want to be like, oh, this is just going to be 5 issues. They don't want to tell you that because then maybe you'll be like, oh, I'll just wait then. But I'm sure that this one is going to be kind of like his baby, and it's been successful. But I think like Something Is Killing the Children, it's probably going to keep going for a little bit. I hope so.
Yeah.
Speaking of, if we want to move on, speaking of Something Is Killing the Children, that last issue. When if I'm not mistaken, I think it was the last one where like I said, we're going to spoil some stuff, but when all the group of people were standing around with the kids in the parking lot, and all of a sudden that little girl is like up in the air, and the parents are like, "What's going on?" And her body gets ripped in half.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, that was insane.
I went on my review. I was like, I just don't know, like, how you could do this on TV or in a movie and actually do it as raw as they do it in this damn book, man. I just thought that book didn't hold anything back, does it?
Yeah,
No.
that was definitely a shocker scene. I mean, it's a little more than halfway through the book, you know, and honestly, I don't remember too much that happens earlier. I remember reading it, but that one scene right there with that girl and then the ending and stuff, you know, everything just kind of all hell breaks loose and stuff. But man, it's because the last issue before was a little kind of a slower pace. There wasn't tremendously a lot going on. You know, there's a few things here and there, but this one definitely picks up. But you see the look on the girl's face when she sees the monster, and she's like, "How come nobody else sees it?" You know, and then all of a sudden she's floating, and then ripped right in half in front of everyone, and then there you go. That's interesting.
Horrifying.
Yeah, I think the last couple of books did a little more in building up some of the backstory, and so it was a little slower pace. But now that they're kind of done doing that, you know, Tynion took us right back to, let me show you exactly what this book is still about.
Yeah.
And smacked you right in the face with it. It's pretty cool.
Issue 11's good too. I got to read that one this weekend, and that one was really good too. Good follow up to this issue.
Yeah, I haven't read it yet. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Anyway, that was one of my picks. I really enjoyed that one, you know, and I was, you know, there's only a few books I know of that I really want to read as soon as they hit. Like I go and I pick up my books, and it's the first ones I grab when I want to, you know, get home or whatnot. Something is Killing the Children is one of them. Department of Truth was very first on my list to read this week. You know, as soon as I had it, that was the one on the very top. I wanted to read it. And, you know, both by the same guy, and not to mention his other title. Oh, my God, dude. The guy, I mean, if somebody else want to take the next one, the Batman 98 and 99 that we got this month, I'm pretty sure that this Joker War is probably one of the best Batman, you know, series that's going on right now in the last 15 years.
I think it's definitely the best story since Hush.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal, man.
Oh, crazy. That's crazy. That's a crazy statement. You know, Grant Morrison did Batman in between all that, right? Anyway. That's crazy. Best since Hush. What the hell? I think it's good. I think it's a good solid one. I think it's hitting as well as it is because it's post Tom King run.
Yeah.
And I think that disappointment lent to a, I mean, it's a good solid, but let's be honest. It's like, okay, haven't we seen this before? Like, we haven't necessarily seen the Joker do something this outlandish and crazy, and that's cool. And I love the artwork. Like, Jimenez is being able to show the scope of this, right?
I love it.
Artwork is gorgeous, and the story is good, and I like it. But it's nothing we haven't seen before. Batman shuts everyone out. Oh, he's over his head now with Joker madness. And now he has to. Now the family's back together, and they're gonna like get together and take it out. But they've been doing some big things. I'm enjoying it. I like it a lot. I think it's good. But
that was a downer.
It's better than Hush. but it's not the best Batman book since Hush.
Well, but here's the thing, Robbie, and I got to tip my hat. You got to remember, I just got back into collecting the last couple of years, so I'm behind in a lot of reading. I didn't read the Morrison stuff.
Then you shouldn't make bold ass statements like that, Bob. You don't know what you're talking
Oh my
about.
God! Here you go. This guy's gotten.
I'm just kidding.
In my history of reading, it's the best thing I've read since Hush. How about that?
You guys notice ever since he got that Joe Rogan microphone, he's been a little bit more cocky.
Oh yeah, no, I picked up a time ago.
Something about it, man.
No, but I really been enjoying this run. As a matter of fact, a book that came out this week was the Batman. What was it called? The Joker War Warzone.
Yeah.
And that's that first story inside of the book. I think is the best one there, where he has the confrontation with Bane. Not confrontation, but he's basically going. And to me, that whole story was just sticking up the middle finger at Tom King.
Dude, right?
Yeah,
That felt like that's what that was.
exactly. Yo, give me a break.
story.
This is how you're gonna do it.
I thought the first story and the last with what was his name? Joker Killer. What was his name? Joker Killer.
The Clown Killer.
Clown Killer. Yeah.
Yeah, and both of the stories are written by Tynion, actually.
Yeah. Those are the two best. I thought it was nice to finally get a little insight on him. So
I enjoyed the artwork inside of that Poison Ivy story, though. I thought that was pretty cool.
yeah, that was some good artwork.
I like that it's teasing something for 2021 between Bane, and Joker. Or maybe Bane's maybe Tynion's I'll do the next successor to Nightfall. Because that's what Tom King was trying to do, I think, was trying to make a Nightfall-esque thing. He wanted to show Bane the respect that he deserved, but it just wasn't quite there. And
Right.
Bane is one of my favorites. So I would love to see Tynion get a hold of Bane and see what he can do now. Now with the Joker talking smack to him.
Is that a book? I'm reading the Batman Joker War, and I got that one that you just showed, Bob, the Warzone. Do I need to read that? Is it essential to the Joker War story?
No, it's not. I mean, it's
Insight.
stories are loosely based.
Okay.
And I would say that it's more like an interlude. But I even said it in my video this morning. It's not essential, and as a matter of fact, for the most part, if you wanted to skip it, you could.
Yeah, I wish I would have, because that was like $6.
Yeah.
And they put a lot of hype around it because of some new characters, which I kept hearing Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo, and that wasn't even the name of the characters. It was like Snap, Crackle, and Pop and Fred or something.
But I will say
it was like Snap, Crackle, Pop, and Fred or something. It was something just random like that. But it was a little bit of a letdown. I kept hearing so much hype that, oh my God, it was gonna spike because of first appearances, which we'll see. It's interesting to see what the future holds though for it. That's what I'm most excited for, because everything just kept saying 2021, like the Batwing stuff. So
Yeah.
I think that's the point. I think if Robbie's correct, that this is setting something big in 2021, you're going to see a lot of people back scrambling to get this book, y'all.
Exactly. That's why it might not seem so really, impactful now, but a few months from now, we'll be like, damn, should have got that one.
I got a copy for sale.
I got one too.
It made Robbie choke, man.
I got one that's going to be in a mystery box in a few months, probably.
There you go.
All right, Bob, you got one, my brother, or you just picked one? Was that the Joker, or did you have something else?
Well, I mean,
That pick was forced on him, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was definitely a good book. I'm behind in some of my reading. I'd say my two best picks of the month was the second issue of Canto 2, and then the Three Jokers. Really enjoying both of those titles. The Three Jokers. I know the first book was more in your face. Had a really hard hitting ending to it, but I really loved the dynamics inside of the second issue, especially with regards to Jason Todd. And I am not a Jason Todd fan, but I got to tell you, these last two books, I really enjoyed the way Jeff Johns has been writing them. The handling of Barbara Gordon and Bruce, understanding his dilemma and going after him, understanding what the two Jokers are wanting and planning to do with him. I think it's just all masterful the way they're playing it out. And I've never liked Jason Todd as much as I have in these last 2 books.
Hey guys, I gotta step away for a quick second. I'll be right back.
Sure thing. But I gotta say, Fabok's artwork inside of this is, man, it's just an absolute joy. Every page turning, it's just so well done. And I've always loved Jeff Johns' writing. So you put the two together, and you got a phenomenal book. And I did pick it for the Thunderdome, but when I actually read the books, definitely Department of Truth took the key, man.
I think you're winning Thunderdome though, so you picked the right one there. I don't know. I see a lot of 3 Jokers votes. I haven't done an account or nothing. Like I'm not that nervous. I'm not that weird about it. But
I have fun with
it. 3 Jokers is great, dude. This book is doing such brilliant character work, and it's such a shame that this book took so long to come out that it's basically kind of separated from continuity. Like maybe they'll one day reference it or something like that, but
sure,
this isn't going to be as impactful as we initially thought it was going to be. But let me tell you something. First of all, you're spot on about Jason Todd. I don't like that character. I hated it when they brought him back from the dead. That's one of the reasons why I hate Hush. It's because that's where that started getting set up.
Yeah.
And so I've just never been that big of a fan. But there was some major cool Jason moments here. Barbara as well, their relationship, the ending, and Joe Chill's involvement in everything.
Yeah, bro. Oh my gosh.
But
and that last page looking just like the Killing Joke.
Right. Here's one of the scariest Joker moments ever to me. Is right.
Oh my
there.
gosh. Absolutely.
So that's the criminal, right? And he just starts. You never see him laugh in the series till right here, and he's so crazy looking. It's uncontrollable, and he even says like it hurts when I laugh.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my god, it's so freaking creepy, and I love it. The artwork is impeccable. There's just nothing better than that. And then like the comedian, when you find out that he's like fantasizing still about this family, and bro, what a weird. It's weird. It's good. By the end of this, I'm getting the idea there's only gonna be one Joker left standing, and but the criminal is to me the scared of him.
Yeah, he's definitely the scariest one because he's the Joker who is completely chaotic, but he's in control in a certain way that the others are not, and that really brings out some creepiness and definitely makes him the scariest one.
What'd you think about it, Dylan?
I actually just read it today too, at least issue 2. I thought it was really good, man. I really enjoyed issue 1. The artwork is some of the best I've ever seen. It really captures the essence of what Jeff Johns is going for. And man, I love Jeff Johns' writing. Like Shazam, man, was one of DC's best books. I've anything that you put Jeff Johns on, I get sometimes you might get delays and shit, which is a bummer. But the guy's so busy, and he still consistently ends up putting out such good work. I feel like when he does make you wait, it's because he's like, hey man, he's like, I might be busy as shit, but I want to at least give you my best work, so I can at least appreciate that. Where it's not like he rushes through it. Some artists or writers, they'll just say they'll be late, but then they just kind of rush through it, and you can just totally tell, like, man, come on, bro. Like, you could tell at least Jeff Johns, he cares what he puts his name on, and I can respect that, man. And at least, hopefully, it's crazy. 3 issues. I'm really wondering how this is gonna end, man. I hope we get like an oversized issue 3 or something, because it's gonna have a quick wrap up, but.
My idea of thinking on this is that it's going to somehow end with the revelation that so we got the one Joker, allegedly the clown, the one that beat Jason Todd to death.
Yeah.
The comedian's the one that shot and paralyzed Barbara for a time.
Right.
So what is the criminal's connection then to the other third character, Bruce? And I get the distinct idea that if not directly, somehow I think that the point of this is that so you get the idea that the criminal's been trying to make other Jokers, better Jokers. Right. I think that little Bruce Wayne was one of his first attempts. And I think they're going to get the revelation that he's the one responsible.
Joe Chill, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I fully agree. And now you're starting to get into some deep continuity of the Joker being there from the very beginning, which is I mean, that's what they did with Robin, right? I mean, they basically showed that he was the one that pushed that caused everything that happened to the Flying Graysons.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and then I mean, if you look at even the '89 Batman movie, that's what they did. Like Joker is the murderer of the Waynes, right?
Yeah, right.
And I am still been very surprised that they've never explored that more further, except for like in Elseworlds at times.
Right. So I think you're 100% correct in how they're going to play this out.
I'm interested, man. I'm interested. It's gonna be fun. Did you have any takeaways on Three Jokers, Bueller? Have you read issue 1 or 2?
Yeah, I read them both. I really enjoyed it. And I was just talking about issue 2 the other day, and I got to tell you, and this goes against everything I believe in, but this Black Label needs to be the magazine size format because, man, those panels are really small. And I'm struggling seeing everything that's going on. Even though I hate those magazine size, I think it would help out this book because the word bubble is still pretty small, and they put so many panels because it's just the 9-panel diagram or something like that,
Yeah.
And to where I think a bigger format would help it out. But I actually think that they're trying to. My thing, I see this as Jason Todd. They're trying to make him the next Joker. It's kind of where I see them, what the experiment is going on with them, on this one. So that would be interesting. Maybe we lose the other 2 Jokers, and then the last man standing is Jason Todd, and he becomes the new Joker, which I think would be kind of cool, to be honest. But beautiful book. Artwork is great. Story is great. Got people making out that shouldn't be making out. That's always a good thing, right?
Well, they recently even had like this thing going on in the pages of one of those books or whatever, like Jason and Barbara, because of that shared trauma, and I think that kind of makes sense. And but you remember they do mention in this one that they were thinking about Jason as being the next Joker, but then they were like, "You're not good enough to be one of us."
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, they're gonna give him the right.
And that's the scarier part.
But it's a great book. I mean, I love the first one. Thought it was great. What they introduced. The second one was just as good, and the first one was probably better, to be honest. That with the killing at the end of the first one, and I mean, there's the thing about this one, like Batgirl, just arguing with Batman, for half the book. Oh, what are we gonna do about Jason? That got a little old, because I mean, they're just driving down the street, saying the exact same thing to each other over and over and over. And at the end of the thing, she's making out with him. So I'm like, okay, I guess she made up her mind. So anyway, it was good. I enjoyed it. Looking forward to number 3. And that's all we get. The third one, and it's done. So
that's what I was saying.
Every DC book I bought this week was more than $3.99. And I was like, man, they're just taking all my money.
I know, man. Even now, the all the Extra Sword stuff, give me $4.99 too, man.
Yeah.
Like, damn, it's crazy.
At least they're extra sized.
Yeah.
Well, that one, the Joker Warzone was barely, and it was $2 more.
Oh yeah, that was a ripoff, bro. To be honest.
Yeah, that's what I was like. What's the deal? So, like I said, I got one for sale.
Man, and they charge $6.99 for this one.
Yeah.
I
didn't even notice that. Goddamn ripoff.
I think the biggest ripoff of the month. I think the biggest ripoff of the month is Marvel using interior pages as the cover of your books now. It's the same exact material, and it's cheap as all get out. And they've gone right back to their old practices.
It is so cheap. I was bummed, man. They keep pushing those like crazy too. I can't. I bought a few, and I'm done. I can't buy any more. I'm like, it's too much. It's just too much.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm next. I guess for my first one, I hope this is you. If it's not this month, then I'll take it off. But was Stillwater this month.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
this month, right? That
Yep.
was when I pulled out of my box. Dude, I know everyone read this. I guarantee. This was I know, especially Bob being a freaking Daredevil fan. There was no way he was missing this.
Huge Starsky fan.
Honestly, you basically the solicits read off this first issue, and I don't mind it at all because it's all set up, and I just know when I read it, I just got chills that something crazy is gonna go down. Like I just know it, and I know Chip Zdarsky's writing, and I'm so hyped to see where this goes. I really can't wait for issue 2 because that's where I feel like the story is really gonna get going. The artwork, what Raymond K. Perez and Mike Spicer thought the artwork worked great, and it's one of those small town stories that I always love. Robbie, I love those small knit type community stories, and it's gonna be interesting to see what he does, man. I'm really intrigued to see what he's gonna do. I mean, Chip Zdarsky on a horror book, man, sign me up all damn day. Like, I didn't even need to read the solicits. I was picking it up,
You know it, man. And it's a great setup too. He's using a familiar structure with some horror cool stuff like American Werewolf in London, Hostel. They both kind of start this way. It's about these friends. They're going on this trip. They're on an adventure. It's fun. They got funny, witty dialogue, and then they just get thrown into this crazy situation, and people die, and then people are like what's going on? And I'm really excited. It definitely has that same first act structure as American Werewolf in London and like Hostel, for real. And I love the artwork. It's busy, but it captures the characters are expressive, and the way that the characters act is really, really cool. But it also just has a nice, cool flow to it. And you feel like you're watching one of those movies. When it starts, you're like, yeah, man, this is like a good road trip movie. And then, of course, you realize, no, it's a horror story.
As soon as I saw the dude, his best friend, get like murked like that, that was the first thing I thought was American Werewolf. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, cause I would like with horror books, I kind of always look out for those tropes, because that almost tells me that they really love horror and they respect it, where they kind of like want to bring their love of horror and like do those tropes to kind of celebrate it. I love stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
One of my favorite things about the book, everything you're saying, I completely agree with. But when you feel this book, it's a bit oversized. It's not normal size comic book, and the writing was so well done. It flowed so well, but you got to the end and it felt like it was. I mean, you only spent just a few minutes in it, and I love when writing can do that and it leaves you wanting more. And that's what I got at the end of this book. I just want to keep reading. So well done, so freaking well done. I love Zdarsky's writing.
It's oversized, but that's the reason why it is, because it doesn't. Isn't that the one that has the pages of Walking Dead in the back?
Yeah. I mean, but there's only 3 or 4 pages in the back, but the rest of it is still a larger, larger than normal. I mean, there's the color pages from The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And Bueller, you sold me on that. I'm actually going to be picking those up. I wasn't sure about that. But now that I know that they're going to add...
Why you were smiling, Robbie? Robbie got a big grin on his face when you said that.
Y'all are suckers. I called this thing so many years ago. I was like, when Walking Dead dies, they're going to eventually put it back out in color and get everybody to buy it again.
Yeah. Well, like I said,
I never bought it the first time.
I didn't buy it the first time, right? But now that I know they're going to be adding extra stuff inside of it, it intrigues me.
What extra stuff?
Love letters to Robbie, pop culture. Starts off with thanks for being.
I'm excited to see what the colorists can do. On those Tony Moore at first, right? The first arc, like that seems really cool to see what his stuff would be like colored. It's gonna be weird to see Adler colored, man. That book it was a really good black and white book. So I mean, it's interesting. I wonder if they're gonna make it through all of it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I remember they did Walking Dead Weekly, and that only lasted like, what, 30, 40 issues or something?
Well, this is supposed to come out every 2 weeks, right?
No, last I looked, it's monthly now. I thought it was every 2 weeks, but now it's monthly, and it's going to take forever. So I mean, I don't know.
The artwork looked really good though.
Yeah. As far as the Stillwater goes, I read it too. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. And the one thing I noticed about it kind of, hey, what's up, Dylan?
No, I was sorry.
But I liked, kind of remind me a little bit of that Man from Nowhere as well, which is a more recent book. You know, he kind of goes into a town that's all really strange, bizarre stuff going on, you know. And this town with Stillwater, it's nobody dies, it's pretty much, and they basically regenerate. You know, if they fall off a building, they just regenerate and they're fine. And the hook with the end of the book is, you know, one of the guys doesn't make it out. You know, they take him out to the field and they blow his head off. You know, and it's like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't see that coming. That was a surprise, and I think that's what made the book. Because really, I thought the book was pretty good. And what made it really good was the ending. If it didn't have the ending, I thought it would have just been somewhat average, to be totally honest.
Yeah. It's one
Amen, brother. Amen.
I almost wish that they would have released like issue 1 and 2 like in the same week, or like, you know, like a week apart, like just to get it, you know, because I feel like some people might kind of stray from it in a way because they're not like, you know what I mean? Like, see me, like, I feel like we know that it's going to be, we at least hope that it's going to be dope, but, you know, I feel like to some it's not.
I always hope it'll be dope. That's a good line.
It is, man.
That should be on one of your videos.
Yeah.
We hope it's dope.
We hope it's dope.
That's a whole new series, man. Yeah. Once a week. Let's hope it's dope. Yeah.
Fingers crossed emoji.
I like that. Everybody does these, like, you know, after it comes out, we do these analysis videos and all this kind of stuff. But doing one before it comes out.
Yeah. Like, I hope it's dope.
I see the wheels turning there.
I like it.
Look, he's dumbfounded. He doesn't know what to do.
I was doing this awesome.
He's writing it down.
The guy said he's a firefighter in West Texas, and he was just saying he appreciates us. Thanks for the comment, James. Yeah, no, I was getting, man.
It's on.
I already took a mental note.
The same thing.
Hope it's dope.
Hope it's dope.
Show
hope we can cope, and I hope that it's dope. Hope floats.
What is your next book, my brother Robbie? Oh yeah, that's a good one. I forgot. See, there's so many good ones this month, dude.
This book is awesome. I loved it. I love the artwork. The artwork is by Simone DeMio, I believe, or whatever. I don't know, man. This is another fantastic Boom book. A great concept. I love the idea. They're basically celestials, like dead celestials out there in space. They're these, you know, these godlike beings. Wait, what's up, Matt? How are you doing, buddy? Dude, I just saw his Boys Don't Cry cover that he did.
Oh, my gosh.
So good. Matt, you got such an amazing voice.
Dude, you got pipes. Matt, that was an amazing video. And then I went back and watched the video with you and your kids.
Yeah, that's a good
awesome stuff.
This book is bold. It's beautifully colored. It is gorgeous. I love it's got action and dynamic. Like, even though that's just a dead god floating in space, there's so much energy in this panel, right? This gave me Kirby vibes. It gave me just fantastic Boom vibes. It was a great concept for a story. I have read issue number 2, and I really liked issue number 2 as well. But there's basically, when they find these celestial beings, they're dead already in space. And so now these people gather, and they're basically mining this creature for meats, for energy, for all kinds of crazy stuff. And they're kind of like fighting. And there's this whole great world building that's going on around it. And then the mystery even deepens in issue number 2, and the story really takes off. But Boom's been killing it. This is another great debut, great concept, great execution, and one of my favorite Al Ewing #1s I've ever read.
I agree.
So I kind of had a problem with that book. I agree that colors are dynamic, but in a lot of places I felt the color took away from the overall picture. And then I was really disappointed when we got to the actual reveal of the god. the Celestial. It just kind of felt like something out of a normal manga story that was being displayed, and so I was kind of it was kind of anticlimactic for me. And there was a couple of spots where they're harvesting, and I couldn't really tell what they were doing, and so I had a couple of different places where I was like, I wanted so much more out of it, and it like I said, there's a couple of places where it detracted from it, and I love the flow of it. The flow of it in the writing was really, really well done. But there's a couple of things in the artwork that were kind of quirky for me that didn't quite line up like I wanted it to.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But the reveal of Celestial, I don't know. I had something, I was expecting a bigger reveal, and it was like, I could have got that at a Crisis Core or something.
In the second issue, you get to this. The gist of their journey is to answer the question why we only find them when they're dead, and it's an interesting direction that it takes, I think. But I loved it. It blew me away. I thought it was a fantastic book, and I love that bold ass. That's a bold cover to me because it's just all title.
Yeah.
I love that.
Issue 2, it has the same thing going on.
Yeah, I mean, Something is Killing the Children does it, and it's like it's kind of becoming Boom's aesthetic, right? Having these long titles, Strange Skies over East Berlin, we only find them when they're dead, Something is Killing the Children. Their next book's going to be like, on my way to the ice cream store, I met some crazy person. Something like that.
What's the other one? I think it's from Scout Comic. It only eats what's fed or something like that.
It eats what feeds it.
Yeah, there you
go. It just wasn't built for tourists.
Yeah.
So these sound like album names.
Or old 50s horror movies.
The man with the atomic brain who had ice cream in Houston.
Yeah, exactly. What book were you just showing there?
Oh, that's that It Eats What Feeds It. I finally got my copy.
Nice.
I haven't read it yet. I got issue 1 and 2.
There you go.
Very cool.
I haven't read it yet either.
Thankfully, because of my brother Robbie.
Did you read?
Finding me a copy. Couldn't have done it without him. The and got this one 50% off because there's a little ding in the or because there's a crease in
damaged.
It's damaged. It was damaged. But I found this was like an online exclusive. They said it was, but
it was a retailer and an online exclusive.
That's what. Yeah, I was just so hyped to get this, man. I love that cover. But well, I'm glad I read one of the books. I'll probably end up talking about it. I think you know which one it will be. But before that, Bueller is next, my brother.
So before I forget, I wanted to show this one real quick because I just read this one today. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
But Devil's Dominion by Black Box. It actually doesn't come out until I think December. But they sent me a preview copy today, so I just read it like literally a couple hours ago. And I can't really spoil it on that one, but I can kind of tell you what it's about. And I told Bob it's kind of a mix between Ghost Rider and Something That's Killing the Children. And or no, is that what I said? I said Ghost Rider. Yeah, something like that. But it's about this girl who made a deal with the devil, and then she went back on the deal, and she's got all these devil powers, and she's hunting down other people who have made deals with the devil to try to somehow make that deal no good or save their soul. And so that's her goal, is to go and save the souls. All these people have made a deal with the devil. And that's pretty much all I can really get into it. But I really enjoyed it. I was really surprised. It's normally this isn't really my type of book, but the artwork was really good, and it was very dynamic. And the reason why I kind of compare it to Something That's Killing the Children, because it's a female character, and in normal she looks normal, but she actually is like a demon or whatnot. So all these characters, when they're fighting, they're in the demon format, even though people only see them as like human beings. But like during the fight sequences or when they're alone, you see them in the demon format, and the artwork that they do on that is really good, and so I enjoy it. But interesting series. I don't know how many issues. I think it's a 5-issue series, but the first one comes out in December. So it's Devil's Dominion. So that was I was surprised. I didn't know I had it. He reminded me that he sent me a advanced copy of it and stuff. But so I read it today before me and Bob filmed the coffee video. So it's fresh in my mind. I just wanted to share that. So I liked it. Good stuff. They don't really publish a lot of books. This is really going to be their only title after Bigs and Tiny's over, I think next month or something like that. So the Devil's Dominion will be the only one by Black Box Comics at the moment.
Nice.
Interesting. I'll have to check it out, man. I see it in the solicitations for this month, so we'll order some copies and try to get it pushed.
Yeah, it's a really neat looking cover, and I mean the artwork is really good.
Plenty of people buy that cover. Trust me.
Yeah. I figured they would. So I've seen some advanced reviews, and they've been pretty good on it. And I think they're right on the money. So I mean, I liked it. So normally, like I said, it's normally not a book I'd probably check out, but I'm glad I did. So it's worth it.
Heck yeah, those are always some of the gems that you think you don't want. Like sometimes I'll be like, I'm gonna just pick it up because I don't have interest. But sometimes those end up being my favorite books somehow. I don't know how, why, but the solicit will totally I'll be like, man, this sounds stupid, and then I'll be like, you know what, the cover will be dope or something, and I don't know why, or most of the time because Robbie says on his video before, and that I'm watching at work, he'll be like, man, this was dope. I'll be like, well, I guess I'm picking it up then.
You know how many books Bobby sells? I mean, not to mention the ones he sells in the shop. But really, I watch that video on Tuesday nights, and it's like, okay, Big Girl sounds interesting. I'm going to pick that up. And it's literally because Robbie just, got all hot and heavy for books like that,
Well, I didn't get hot and heavy necessarily for Big Girls.
I'm just saying in general, man, you're getting hot and heavy. And you're not getting hot and heavy for Big Girls, man. What's wrong with you?
I just the passion, man. I get excited, I love talking about these things. So,
yeah.
I try to sell a lot. I mean, that's why that's why these small independent companies pay me, is to push their books. Obviously,
that's why you make the big bucks.
Yeah,
that's why they pay all of us, right?
I got so many digital PDFs, man. I don't know what to do.
We're talking about how awesome Robbie is. He's not very far away from 10,000 subscribers.
We're trying to get there. We're trying to get there before the end of the year, but we'll see what happens.
I think you're doing pretty well, man. I saw your numbers creeping up quite a bit faster than they were in the past.
Well, the working with you guys and working with Jim doesn't hurt, things like that. Now, nobody that works for PayPal is ever going to subscribe to me, though, if I continue doing videos with Jim. But, I don't know. I'm just joking. Did anybody see that? There's a lot of drama with PayPal and Jim. It was really funny to kind of watch, but I understand his pain. No, I mean, you guys have been a big help in the community, helping shout me out and point people in our direction. And I'm just glad that I can provide some service. I can do one good thing in my life. So I'm just glad.
There you go, man. Awesome.
Yeah,
Congratulations, by the way. Pre-congratulations.
Oh, well, thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, more than once I've watched Robbie's reviews and picked up something that wasn't on my pull list and was just completely fooled by it.
It's every week. It's every week. I'm not lying. It's literally every week I watch his reviews, and it's like, okay, I wanted to know about that one. I just wait till what he says. Yeah. And then I buy it,
I have some interesting taste, though, so I know that at times, I'm sure some people read Coffin Bound and go, "What the hell was this guy talking about?"
Well, I skipped through. I mean, I can pretty much tell you what every one of your reviews for Action Comics or Superman is. This is the last.
Keep doing it, though.
This is the last time I'm reading this. That's his review for those.
I can't stop reading Superman. There's this curse I have. I got to read Superman. I've been like that since I was a kid. I will always read Superman, and they usually always suck. Yeah. And it's just, God.
Anyway, if anyone in the chat.
Anyway, enough. Let's move away from me.
Yeah.
Let's talk about comics. Come on. You guys are embarrassing me.
We're trying to make Bobby really, really uncomfortable right now.
Yeah, I'm good right now. Let's just...
Bobby, you're up next, my brother.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where to go next. There's so many comics that I could talk about this month. I mean, this week there were 4 different books that ended. Most of them ended really well. And then, of course, there's these, and along with the Trinity Crisis. Oh, yeah. it's I'm having so much fun reading this event, this death metal event. It has been just fun all the way from the very beginning. I'm here, and these issues, they're supposed to be, kind of a reprieve from the main story, but to me, it's all part of the main. So it's not like it's taking any, break or anything off of it. So can't wait for issue number 4 to come out. I think out of all of them, Multiverse's End was a really good book. Speed Metal stands on its own, but this week was a crazy issue in Multiverse's End, and I just had so much fun reading it. And so I know Robbie's reading. Dylan, are you reading these?
Yeah, loving them, man. I just finished Multiverse's End today. It's so good, man. Each one. That's like, I think Robbie says it every time, and I say it every time. This is how you do a big series. This is how you do an event. You don't need 3-issue tie-ins with Miles Morales, Symbiote Spider-Man, and Thor and Punisher and every goddamn Marvel character. I just need a one-shot that is badass and is actually a good story. And maybe, I think they're all essential too. That's the biggest thing. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
I think they're all essential to where most of those other ones, they just like fill in like in between blanks that you could just fill in yourself imaginatively. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just nice to finally see an event done right. And man, I've been having a hell of a fun time with that. I'm loving it. Like
damn. Dylan's dog does not agree, or he does agree. That they are essential, because if you didn't read these books, you're going to read issue number 4 of Death Metal, and you're going to be like, where'd the Mobius chair come from?
Right.
Where did Superboy Prime come from?
Right.
And how did they already defeat these towers? And you will also have missed the absolute best moment in Captain Carrot's publication history. That was heartbreaking, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God. When he's sitting there and he's like so sad that he couldn't save his world. Yeah. And oh my God, dude.
And I think that's the one thing about this, whole series that I've loved from the very beginning. I just get the feeling like there's no restraints. They've allowed the story to get as wild as it needs to be. They've taken chances in some areas and made it a hell of a lot of fun, at the same time while keeping it compelling in the main storyline and tying together all the crisis events the way that they have. I'm just loving it from beginning all the way up till now. Can't wait to see where they go with it. And it's going to set the tone for DC universe going forward. So I can't wait to see where they go.
Hell yeah. And they're so cosmically crisis level awesome. I love it, man.
That Multiverse's End was really good. I actually think Juan Gideon did maybe a little better on some of that artwork in the DC book than he's like. I've enjoyed the Marvel Venom stuff he's doing, but I think the DC book was a little bit better. Like I feel like sometimes it's a little rushed.
I like the coloring on Venom a lot better
because
they're doing that weird like 80s alternate universe thing. Yeah. So I like that, but
I think he's going for that Juan Gideon. He's going for that more cartoony look. I feel like in a way,
he's going for a very frantically paced book, and he's I like his layouts. His composition's really cool. He does these really small, like 4-panel grids in the midst of a big double-page splash or something, and these are techniques that it's almost like a more explosive panel composition, akin to someone like a Mike Mignola or something like that, or even a Sean Phillips, but more explosive, right? Like a combination of that into the superhero world, which I like. And the other thing, too, is that even if you're not reading Death Metal, Speed Metal is basically the last issue of Josh Williamson's Flash run, you know? And that's great to read it just for that, because that's a great – if you have been pissed off at how Wally West has been treated over the last few years, read Speed Metal.
Hey, real quick, since you kind of brought it up, Robbie, I know that he did his last issue. You think the new guy is going to be any good?
I think the new guys, I'm not familiar with them. I think it's just filler. I think it's just a fill-in story because then you got Dan Abnett coming in to do that Endless Winter BS that they're doing in December or whatever, where they're doing like this weird crossover. So I don't even think we have the set team in place yet, but I hope it's good. But it's going to be really tough to follow up someone who basically did 8 to 10 years worth of issues in 4 years because it was bi-weekly, you know.
Yeah.
And Williamson pumped out a lot of content and very consistent, and it only ever got better, I thought. So that was really, really crazy. He's leaving at the peak of it, I think.
Yeah, and he's jumping over to Justice League now for a run. And
yep, he's doing the death metal tie-ins there, which are other great tie-ins that are cool.
Yeah,
you're going to be confused if you miss this about how did the Legion of Doom get freed? Because that's the mission that they're on, you know, and Luther.
Oh yeah, man.
It's good
That's
stuff.
going to be big with the Lex stuff.
You had these panels by Barrow.
Yeah, that's speed metal, right?
Yeah. And then the page next to it with the Batman who laughs.
I love those pages, man.
It's so amazing,
dude.
I love the artwork inside this book.
So good. It never stopped moving.
No,
it was just like bam, bam, bam.
So good.
Hey, that's another thing. They got phenomenal artists on those books too.
I think DC's got better artists right now, man, than Marvel. I mean, when I read my books, I'm way more impressed with the DC overall than I am Marvel.
Yeah.
Stegman is my favorite Marvel artist, I'd say, like hands down. Stegman, and I'm loving her, Ramos. Humberto.
I mean, there are good artists at Marvel. I'm not saying I'm not. You know, they got like you said, Ramos and Stegman and Chichetto over at Daredevil. Like, there's great artists there. But then you get a book and you're like, why is Greg Land still getting work? Jesus.
Yeah. Then
you got Salvador LaRocca, our friend LaRocca over at Dr. Doom, literally typing in bear and snow and picking the first image, which is this popular meme, and just totally swiping it. And that's just lazy, man. God. It's one thing to swipe an image. I get it. You can't draw a bear from memory. I understand. But don't pick the most popular image of a bear and swipe it.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to notice that.
It was Yogi Bear. It was like
it should have been Yogi Bear. Dr. Doom riding Yogi Bear.
Hey, boo-boo.
Hey, boo-boo. Hey, Doom Doom.
I love it.
I think I'm up next, I think.
Yeah, buddy.
I guess I'll go with Grendel, Kentucky from AWA. I got to always show some love to these guys, man. I'm just loving what they're doing. A new horror book, too. Perfect time with Halloween coming up. And another small town, like, biker gang, like, town. I'd say it's a small town that has a local biker gang.
Here, let me do it. Let me do it. Can I do it?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Can I do the intro for this book? I love this book.
Go ahead.
He has a great pitch for this.
Let me tell you what you get in Grendel, Kentucky. You got all female biker gangs. You got human sacrifice. You got the dankest weed in town. What more do you need? Nothing. It's the perfect book. Go out and buy it.
And monsters in caves.
And monsters in caves. I forgot that one. And cave monsters.
Cave monsters.
The dankest weed in town.
It's like a creature feature version of Justified.
Yeah.
In a way.
And dude, the artwork by Tommy Lee Edwards.
I love Tommy Lee Edwards. Love his work.
I was gonna say Wallace for dude. So good. It's so unique, man, and gritty and textured.
I thought the artwork was really busy. And I liked it, but there's a lot. It seemed like a lot was going on in the background and everything. So
I like it. I want to see it. Like Tommy Lee Edwards did like these covers for the Mask book. You remember Mask from the 80s? And he didn't do the interior artwork, but his covers were fucking baller. But yeah, I like it. It is busy. It definitely is. But it's got this really dark, like look at the use of blacks there. And then everything that's highlighted is so intentional. I love it. And the landscape and just, he's a great draftsman as a comic book too. The way that he does landscapes, cities, buildings, cars. Sometimes you can tell even your favorite artists get a little wonky on that kind of stuff, but he does that stuff expertly.
I got to tell you that the is like the next boom, to be honest.
I really think so.
To me, because Boom has gone so far up, as far as the ranks. I think AWA, who just started just a few months back, is right there. I mean, they're putting out quality title after quality title. And
Every
honestly, I told my comic shop, I want every number one that comes in for AWA.
Me too. I said the same thing because unless it's like even Bad Mother. I know some people didn't like Red Border at first. I saw potential in that from the first issue.
That got better.
Bad Mother got really good in issue 2. Like even the issue there's only been like 1 or 2 series where some people didn't like issue 1, but I think they jumped back in it. If they gave issue 2 a shot, they loved it. Like Bad Mother, people started loving. They were like, "Oh my god, it was badass." I love both issues myself, but they're one to check out, man, because they are doing some phenomenal work.
Next one, I think, is American Ronin, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. I'm excited for
that. That's this week, right? It's next week.
Yep. October 7th.
I get such early looks at all of their books, and I'm so far behind. AWA goes like really ahead of time when they send out their review copies.
I was just gonna say you can get these 2 like months in advance, and they're just black and white. They're just not colored, and sometimes they give you the full issue.
They pretty much have the whole series done by the time the first issue.
Oh
is
yeah.
So it's kind of nice.
Dude, I tell you, I'm excited for Year Zero. That was one that I want to talk about, but I don't think I'm gonna just leave it at Grendel. I'll pick a different one, but Volume 2, man, I'm hyped for, man. It's another one. If you didn't.
The only one I haven't really liked that much has been in the long run has been Resistance. I think I'm done with the Resistance. But
I was like the first one.
Yeah, it was.
I really liked the first issue. I thought it was great, but there was never a character that I cared about. There was no central focus as far as character work. It was all about events, and that's not what I'm looking for, especially an indie book from JMS, who has the potential to do great character work. Look at books like Midnight Nation, which is phenomenal. I think his best comic book work. So I was very disappointed with Resistance. Plus, I also felt that Mike Deodato, especially doing Bad Mother at the same time, his artwork got a bit rushed and sloppy at times. And he's too dependent on this grid thing that he does, which was really cool and innovative for a moment, but now it's like, okay, you're doing it all the time, and it's not as artistic when you're just doing it all the time. I don't know.
Vehicle at that point.
Yeah.
So just really quick, have you guys heard about AWA? I know that they do AWA Upshot. From what I understand, there's going to be other imprints besides Upshot for AWA. Have you guys heard anything about that?
I haven't heard anything about that, but it wouldn't surprise me. Like if they have like a middle age imprint, maybe an all ages one or something like that, because that's another thing. There's a lot of money right now in all ages imprints. And that's why Mad Cave's doing it with
I was just gonna say Mad Cave just
and
did
Vault's doing it, and DC's having a lot of success with it right now too. And that's a whole other field. Kids are not coming into comic shops buying issues of Superman and whatever, but they are going into bookstores apparently or on Comixology and downloading these really interesting these really interesting Comixology is Amazon, but doing these really interesting set out of continuity takes for all ages and middle readers. I'm just saying it's Amazon. It's the same damn thing, Dylan. You trying to call me out? You basically said prove it.
I meant ordering. I didn't. I basically said it without saying it. But yeah, because most kids, they don't want to just jump into Strange Academy issue 5 and just go on from there.
Nor do they even know or care. Like when we were kids and they had those Scholastic book fairs, if they had this Superman book, I would have bought it. To me, it's to anybody whose first comic book this is the story, and I think that's if it's working, keep doing it. And it's a big growing market right now. Is graphic novels for young adults and for all ages. And it's smart to get into it. And I think it'd be interesting to see AWA do that because everything they've done so far has been so definitely R-rated, so it'd be really interested to see what they can do.
Hey, Dylan, do you know a good place to order some of those would be?
Where?
Amazon.
Oh, nice. I wouldn't have thought of it. It's true. You see, they got another one I forgot by Cullen Bunn, Erratic, coming out.
Yeah.
I think it's like a sci-fi horror. That one looks interesting.
Definitely look at that.
Yeah.
I noticed somebody in the chat asked me whether or not I saw Shannon Mayer's new cover for Punchline.
Yeah.
I did. It releases tomorrow. It's a phenomenal cover. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Do you know Shannon joined the PCP Army? How cool is that?
That is cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
He probably left. He probably left just as we approved his membership. He probably got on there. And he's like, "What's going on in here?" Never mind.
He watches a lot of YouTube.
He does. I like his work. I haven't seen that Punchline one. I like his Venom cover's been the favorite one that I've seen so far. I like his Venom one a lot. But his work's cool. He's got some really. I'm assuming he colors it, right? It's like he's like does all of it, right? His coloring work is amazing, man.
It is. I think my favorite one is the Catwoman cover.
That's
all the warm colors. Oh man,
it's not as sexy as the Venom cover for me because the Venom one's got a lot of tongue in it.
Yeah.
My favorite ones are the Mary Janes.
Yeah, the Mary Jane cover is good too.
Any Mary Jane that he does is one of my. Although I did like the one that you gave me, the Gamora one, the green.
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome the way he used the color.
The Gamora one, yeah.
Yeah, his Ghost Spider one was really cool too.
Yeah.
Is it on me now, Dylan?
Yes, sir.
I want to talk about a book that I don't know if anybody else here reads, but I just got to say something about what I think is one of the most challenging, beautiful, weird, exceptional, and fantastic books out there, and it's called
Bombastic.
And this is not quite as bombastic as something like, we only find them when they're dead, but Coffin Bound. Coffin Bound, to me, it's Dan Waters. It's Danny is the artist. Brad Simpson on the coloring. Aditya Bidikar on the lettering. Aditya Bidikar is the best letterer in the industry right now. Somebody was making fun of me the other dude. Bidikar is. I'm just telling you guys. Anyway, this book is. This book has the poetry and the sophistication of something like Neil Gaiman's Sandman.
That's a bold statement.
But it's executed in a very grindhouse, dirty and raw kind of way. Let me see. I freaking love this book. The coloring is beautiful. The artwork is gritty and edgy. It is all about sex, drugs, rock and roll, but it literally is as sophisticated and as poetic as Neil Gaiman's The Sandman. And I am not overhyping this book. It is so much fun.
Same colors as Department of Truth.
Brad Simpson? No, Simmons did the coloring on Bidikar is a letterer, bro. Bidikar is the letterer. Aditya Bidikar. He's a fantastic creator.
Sorry.
He's a fantastic dude. He did a podcast one time with Hassan Otsman Al-How called Between the Lines or something. Anyway, this book is golden. And I've gotten a few more people into it since the second arc started last month. And now this is the second issue of it. In this story, there's this idea that there are these people they're basically junkies, but they get their drugs, which are outlawed. They get their drugs at a church and it's God. So it's this really interesting exploration on addiction and religion and how it can kind of almost be like it's the same. A lot of people, you're trying to fill a hole inside. You know what I'm saying? And the way that they outlaw religion because it's also a drug. And there's a lot of interesting concepts in here, but I am 100% not trying to overhype this book, but this is going to be this book is to me just brilliant, and it has subtext and nuance like nobody else. With the city about to ban the holy narcotic, she vows to prove the existence of the divine, setting her on a path straight to the murderous Earth Eater's door. Dude, I freaking love this book. Live, love, rot. Like I said, it's in your face. It's sex, violence, and rock and roll, but it's also an incredibly sophisticated and poetic book at the same time. And
what issue is it on right now?
It's on issue 6. Yeah, 6. The first arc was just 4 issues, and this one's just going to be 4 issues. Dan Waters is part of the White Noise crew. That's Dan Waters, Ron B, Alex Packendale, and Ryan O'Sullivan.
Love Ron B.
whenever any of them are writing a book, pay attention to it. In fact, Alex has one called Giga, which comes out on October 28th, I believe, from Vault. That is going to be, to me, one of the books of the year. Like, I love it. I love it.
I think I may have the preview copy for that already.
You should check it out. It's really, really cool, especially if you like giant mech stories. This is the most interesting take on giant robot stories I've ever read.
Got to read it then.
Yeah, good stuff. Coffin Bound. If you like Grindhouse, you like something dirty, something raw, something that makes you feel dirty and nasty inside, but at the same time has so much poetic relevance, go for it.
You can see my wife right now. She's shaking her head. That's great.
Bob, you're not going to read Coffin Bound.
I love it.
All right, Bueller, you're up next, my brother.
All right. So this is kind of sad because it came to an end, and it shouldn't have, because there's a lot more story to be told in this book, and it's been my favorite book for the last 4 months. As Join the Future #5 came out, and by Zach Kaplan, and the final issue was great. It led up to the main character kind of getting some revenge, but not the revenge I wanted to see. It's like she didn't even get to the city at all, and that's where the second arc of the story needs to take place. And I would love to see that, but I don't think they're doing it. I messaged Zach, and he said, "Yeah, let Aftershock know." That's pretty much what he said. But I love this series. The premise of the book is this girl, her town gets wiped out by this other city or whatnot. That's an advanced city that's like a utopia. They have like a military type thing, and they come and wipe out the town. They kill her brother, her dad, and everybody. And she's left over, and she wants to learn to get revenge on these people. And everything's been leading up to her kind of getting revenge. And so she does that on some of the military and some of the other people living in another town to kind of support this and stuff like that, kind of the sheriff. And she wipes them out. She burns them down. She burns them to the ground and take no prisoners. But like the whole city, the whole big thing is just like sitting there, and she's not even entered the city yet to get the real revenge. And that's where I was so hoping that this goes, because it never does. You never see the city again after the first issue. You get to see inside and kind of what's going on and everything, and after that you see like a glimpse of it in the background, but you never get any more depth of the city. And I was really hoping they would. Loved it. It quit too early. It needs more books. Go tell Aftershock to tell Zach to make more, because it needs to be an ongoing series. Unfortunately, Aftershock has a tradition of cutting off books when they're just getting like really good, and there's a lot more story to be told. And this is another one that kind of fell into that category.
Yeah, Zach has a lot more planned with this book, and it's all up to Aftershock if they want to publish it. And if they don't, then maybe somebody else could pick it up, and that would always be cool, but that's a rarity in the comic book world. There's so much in this, and that reminds me too, because Zach has so much more to tell in that, just like Justin has so much more to tell about this one.
Oh yeah,
for
it's
sure.
the same type thing. Like the future of the book's kind of like, it just depends on trade sales. It depends on if they think they can bring it back. Now, sometimes it happens. Aftershock did Dark Arc by Cullen Bunn and Juan Doe. That was amazing. And then they brought it back for a second arc, which I don't think is near as strong as the first. And I think that probably be the end to it. Vault's done the same thing with books recently, like Resonant. Resonant's coming back for a 6th issue, and that's exciting. Sarah and the Royal Stars, Money Shot. Finger Guns ended in such a brilliant way there's so much more about this world to be explored. Other people have other powers. Think about that. Yeah. There's so much more to explore. Join the Future is the exact same way. They gotta, and the only way to do that is to support it. And I've been telling everybody, buy the Join the Future trade paperback and the Finger Guns trade paperback. Buy 2, give them away to friends, let them get into it. You got to get people into this stuff, because
you're just literally just getting started. I mean, when you read the first issue, I think everyone here read the first issue, but when I read the first issue, I thought that it's going to lead to in the city, okay, and she will be somehow in the. We never even get that. We never even get close.
Because this is just the first chapter, and there's so much more to tell, man. Oh,
it always went. You always thought you knew where it was going, and it would just totally do a 180, and you're like, damn, I didn't see that coming. It's one of the
they told, they had to tell. Okay, and they did a good job with the story for what they did so far. But it's unfinished. It's really unfinished. So I mean, it's like just watching the first act of a movie, and there's 2 more acts to go, and we're probably not going to get them
unless we all get together and buy multiple copies and start a whole thing. We should, we're YouTubers. We're
we can do that now is buy trades.
We need to like do whatever we can. We need to make a concerted effort to make sure people know that Join the Future and Finger Guns needs the love, because that's why the indie books are so good.
I sent an email.
Well, we gotta let the people know.
We're doing that right now.
You're right. Maybe we should do separate videos about it or something. Is what I'm saying. Maybe I don't know.
Hey, we sell a lot of. I think we sell a lot of books just from this monthly stream for real. You know how many times? Remember when we first started talking about AWA? It was like a list of people, and they're like, "I just added all the AWA books to my pull." Be like, "Hey, AWA, you calling me yet?"
Yeah. Oh, they pay well. Trust me.
Yeah. So well.
They give you a PDF a day.
Oh man,
yes.
PDF a day keeps everything cool, right?
Yeah. Nice. Keeps all the bad things away. All right, Bueller, you're up.
Wait, I'm sad to see that's done too.
Dude, I am too. That's one of my favorite books too. Artwork, beautiful.
Oh, yeah, artwork is great.
Oh, so good. That's one that it'll be a shame if it doesn't get a value.
I hope it does. I mean, Undone by Blood's coming back, so maybe Join the Future can get some love too.
I guess Undone by Blood's getting a little TV show or production hype or something though. So
that's another thing too. Join the Future is prime for something like that. That's a great concept for a TV show. If somebody picks that up, then Zach definitely gets to finish that story.
That's a sci-fi show right there.
Well, don't put it on Sci-Fi; it will get canceled in the season. They can't make a show work, man.
Ever since Battlestar, man, they haven't made anything good.
They've taken these great comics, Happy, Deadly Class, Vagrant Queen, and just shit out these shows that just don't do anything. But who goes to Sci-Fi Channel to watch TV? I don't think many people do.
Not me anymore.
All right, Bob. Well, you were up next, my brother.
So I just want to say, Join the Future. I didn't get to read those. I didn't get the first book because our LCS got shorted. I know Bueller got his. I didn't get mine. I got the second book and then didn't get the third one. And so I'm looking forward to actually collecting the trade paperback and reading it that way. I was very surprised by the ending to Finger Guns. I thought it was awesome. Hats off to Justin for his first, showing out there as a writer on comic books. I thought it was phenomenal. And I really do hope that they pick him back up to continue that story for sure. I know, we've only got, a little more than a half an hour left, so I'm not going to get to all the books I want to mention today. But I did want to mention there were 4 books that ended the series this week. And one of which was Year Zero. Now, I've loved Year Zero all the way through, but I was disappointed at the end. I thought each of those little arcs kind of ended abruptly. And I realized that the whole vehicle for that book was to show off this beginning of the zombie apocalypse. And I was really expecting them to tie those stories together, and they really didn't. But I am excited for the next, issues that come out. Volume 2. I can't wait for that to come out. I think it'll really be special. But the other 3 books that ended this week, which were just phenomenal, I have to mention them. First is Alienated, number 6. This book is one of the best books of the year. All the way through, it was just phenomenal. The way this ended was so heartfelt, and I was very sad to see it end. I thought that the vehicle with which Simon Spurrier used, to convey emotion, and it was just very well done. I really enjoyed it. The other one was Rogue Planet by Oni Press. I was really impressed the way they ended this book. It really surprised the heck out of me. But I really enjoyed the reading of this all the way through. Kind of gives you an alien feel, like the Alien movies. And of other horror tropes and sci-fi tropes all the way through. But I really it kept me going through the whole thing, so I really enjoyed that. And then the other one, a lot of people, this wasn't on their radar, but by Aftershock, Artemis and the Assassin ended this month, and I really enjoyed this story all the way through. If you haven't read this book, definitely pick it up in the trade because it's a fun ride. The premise of it is you have a time travel, basically assassins who go through time and assassinate people to change the course of history. And you have the main character is a female assassin. She's got these powers that are pretty cool. And she ends up going back to World War II, and she's supposed to assassinate Virginia Hall, who's the famous World War II female spy, and whose code name is Artemis. And this whole adventure takes place, and I got to tell you, by the end of the book, it was just so well done. I had so much fun reading it. I really hope that Aftershock continues this story as well, because there's more to tell here as well. But those four books ended this week. And but I think my favorite of the four that ended was Alienated 6. I just thought it was just so well done. The commentary on our society and youth growing up, emotions, how we deal with these things. Spurrier did an amazing job at bringing these things to light in the way that he did. And my hat's off to him. This is definitely one of the best books of the year.
I love the artwork too.
Oh my gosh, the artwork
so
is
good.
insane. Yeah,
It is one of the best of the years. Like for real. I think it kind of almost sad that it peaked at issue 3 and 4.
Yeah.
But to be honest, that's the meat of the story. That's
Sure.
Act 2, and it should peak there to an extent. It peaks in a different way at the end, and I'm right there with you. I think it was a brilliant book, very well done all the way through.
Boom's killing it, man.
That they are.
It's probably because they're letting creators create. You know,
Great point.
They've been waiting for the chat's been waiting for somebody to bring up Alienated too. So I'm glad you did, Bob. It's a phenomenal book.
Is that Bob?
I hope somebody brings up Heavy too.
Nope.
I didn't get Heavy, but
Nope.
I heard good things about it.
Not very good.
Thanks, man.
I guess I'm next. I probably I guess I'll talk about this. I just got it today from Robbie actually, but I had to read it quick. Autumnal. It's only one issue, and it's one that I'm little. I want to see where it goes, but it was definitely a really intriguing first issue, and I know they're doing a second print. So if you weren't able to get the first print, you can probably get your hands on one of those. But it seems, I love what Michael Moreci did with the plot and kind of launching the Nightfall vault line. So I couldn't believe I didn't add this to the poll. I was waiting to hear what Robbie said because he usually reads all the vault stuff like a month or two earlier, and somehow this one, he kind of waited it out, which I don't
know why, man. I was busy. You're right. I read issue 2. It really gets it going. So
does it? Oh man, Thank you. I'm glad I put it up there because I had a feeling that it was gonna ramp up in issue 2. But dude, you got so much to read, man. Like, dude, I have books all around me. I couldn't even imagine what you got to read. But,
I'm drowning in PDFs, man. That's what they pay me in.
Right though. But like I said, man, I say it all night, man. These small town horror stories always get to me, man. And it's just, reminiscent of Stephen King, growing up loving his novels, and just I love those tight knit communities that everybody knows everybody, and they're hoarding a deep dark secret that something's going on in this town, and it's the prettiest town in all of Autumn. So the book just lights up when they finally get to the town, and the artwork is fantastic. Let me see. I should have pulled it out. But I don't know if Bob or Bueller, if you guys read this book at all.
I can't pronounce it. I'm not going to get it. Autumnal? Is that what it is?
I was schooled by one of my viewers that it's autumnal, but
Yeah.
I was like autumnal.
I think I skipped it. I was like, that's what it says.
Do you know people were asking for like $20-$40 for that book when it first came out because it was a sellout? And I think Vault's hitting the peak right now because Heavy made waves. Now Autumnal's made waves. So,
and now there's going to be another one in 2 weeks that's going to make huge waves.
Devil's Red Bride.
That's right.
Dude, it's a great book. And that's your first unofficial exclusive cover, right?
We'll get to that.
All right. And also, a couple weeks after that, they have Giga #1.
Yeah.
Trust me.
I know you want that one.
I'm releasing an advanced review of it on Monday morning. That book is I haven't felt this way about a book since I read Little Bird #1.
The thing is, there's no reason this book should be $40 because I just heard that it's like fake hype, honestly, that it's just more word of mouth that the story is good and people were slacking on it.
It's the speculator market? Is that what you mean?
That's where it was heard. Even on Key Collector, they said it was kind of like a fake news type thing. I forget what they said, but it was like some type of thing that some people are doing.
Notice I said that people were asking $20 to $40 for it the week it came out. I didn't say
that's cheap, man. If you can get that for $30 right now, buy as many as you can.
Yeah, right. I get every cover. Who wants
I'm just kidding, by the way.
I think somebody bought like all 3 covers for like $60 or something. I saw on.
How much is it? Was it $3.99 cover price?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how much it's worth.
Exactly. Makes no sense.
Beulah keeping it real. You know what I'm saying?
We don't do spec in here. We don't spec. We just read. So we do.
It's going to be a good read. That's my
the only thing I spec on is these.
Oh, you know another one I had fun with? This one. A lot of shit ended too, man. Like Bob said, I had like 5 titles and I got to finish up Rogue Planet. I was enjoying that one as well. Dude, if you're any type of Army of Darkness fan, this was so much fun. It's nothing that's going to change your life, but if you are a fan of Ryan Parrott, which I've been loving what TMNT versus Power Rangers, his Power Ranger stuff, Dead Day, I'm loving what he's doing with Dead Day now.
Orphanage with him too, right? Orphanage, that was a good one by him.
I haven't checked that one out. I'll have to look into that one. But dude, Merca and Dolphin on the cover, and I've been loving this, man. You know me, I got a soft spot for my main man Ash and Army of Darkness, especially as this, and this is kind of like an unofficial afterwards of Army of Darkness, like what happens after. So I've had a lot of fun with that, and I'm glad it's over because I have too much shit on my pulse. So I'm glad like 7 things ended, but you know how that goes. 10 more
14 are starting.
Yeah, exactly. But obviously, dude, Strange Academy. Robbie, this is the one he wants to drop so bad, but he knows he won't because it's so damn good. And dude, I was the same way, Robbie. I was like, I wasn't gonna get this at all. Like I love Middle West. I love Scotty Young as a writer. Not that big of a fan of his art. From time I am. I like from time he has a cool cover like that Philadelphia cover. But I gave it a shot last minute in the dark and I loved it, man. And it's one of the, I'd say Venom, Thor. I'm not reading it, but I know Daredevil is one of the best books. Strange Academy, Immortal Hulk, Thor, Venom, and Daredevil are like the 5 best books. And X of Swords. Yeah.
X-Men. I did a recent reread of all the Hickman X-Men books, post House of X, Powers of 10, and it's really good.
I find that amazing. I mean, out of all you already read 50, 60 books a week. And you just go back and read the X-Men books?
Well, I didn't know if Jim was going to do there was the idea that me and Jim were going to do a spoiler review on 10 of Swords, and that didn't happen due to scheduling, but I was like, well, I got to get ready. Like, that's what I do. That's why, like, when I do like my comics revisited or my Marvel in the 90s, like I reread these books over and over. I want to make sure I'm giving the audience top-notch interpretation and commentary, I guess. I don't know.
Read
I just read. I read. I'm an avid reader, dude. I read like all the time.
Did anyone read this?
Well, Forrest Gump is the running. You are to read it.
Dude, thank you for throwing up X-Ray Robot. Already, that's one of my favorites. That's so zany and fun, dude. I love that book.
So much fun. The artwork is phenomenal.
Have you ever read Madman by
No.
Mike Allred? No, you
I'll
got to
tell
read
you,
Madman.
to be
It's
honest,
hard to find right now, but
this is the first thing I've ever read by him, actually, I believe. I'm pretty sure this is the first thing. I love it. Like, I actually bought issue 1 because of you. I saw it on the table, and I'd read the preview for it, and I really liked the preview. But I was like, I read something, and it was like, oh, like, join his world of Mike Allred. And I was like, oh, this is something you kind of got to know. Like, it's a world building thing where he's already established something. I didn't know until I saw your review. You're like, oh, this is something, you can just jump into it. Like, that's one thing I get worried about, that if I haven't read his other stuff, it's like, oh, am I not going to be able to just jump into that? But no, man, X-Ray Robot was really fun. And in a few months, dude, it's been like 5 months probably since issue 1 came out, dude. Maybe
March 18th is when issue 1 came out.
dude, so I've been waiting for that issue too. I've with the red guy on the cover, and yeah, it was trippy to say the least. If you like sci-fi stuff, that's one like that. It takes me back. Like when I read it, it just feels like a 80s like a 70s or 80s sci-fi movie, like cheesy but so trippy and so fun.
It's got a great hip, fresh retro style. It's retro. It's grounded in the 60s. Like if you like Alex Toth, like he's got a lot of. It's very Kirby. It's very Alex Toth. There's a lot of influences from the early days, but it's definitely got its own style. And I love him. Him and his wife work together. She's his colorist, and Mike and Laura do amazing work. They're two creators that I still want to meet so bad.
Well, you come up to Portland, you meet them.
I know. One day I want to get up to Portland, not to meet the Allreds, but to meet the Bob and the Bueller and the Sam and the Damien.
Bob, didn't you go?
You'll have a phenomenal time.
Bob, didn't you go see them somewhere?
To see who?
The Allreds. Didn't you go see them?
No.
Oh, I thought you had your picture taken with them or something like that.
No, that was Kelly Studiconic and Matt Fraction.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right.
I've met Matt, but I've never met Kelly. Matt was super fucking cool, man. He let me see the first 3 issues of Jimmy Olsen before it released, and loved it because I had talked so much shit about him for 2 years on this channel as being a quitter. So I changed my opinion of him, meeting him, and
him and Chip Zdarsky are like best friends.
Yeah,
and I got to talk with both Kelly Studiconic and Matt Fraction. They're really good people, actually.
Dope.
Oh yeah.
Do you want me to list a few, Dylan?
What was that?
Do you want me to list a few?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. We can't have one of these shows without talking about Ice Cream Man.
Yeah.
I was hoping. I
forgot that came out too.
I really wish that I could have got the foil cover, but it was like a 1 per store, and I had a guy that was like, "I'll pay you $100 for it." So I'm like, "Well, I'm not going to pay $100 for it." So, but no, this book was great. I loved it. Now I read some of these as it was coming out in the quarantine comics or whatever, but there are 2 stories in here I want to spotlight. First of all, the first story in which W. Maxwell Prince and Martine Marazzo and Chris O'Halloran, the regular team, are doing that story where he's comparing himself, the writer is, to Shakespeare being in quarantine.
So well done.
And it really captures those early weeks when everything was so uncertain and it felt like we were at the end of the world. And then there's a Dennis Camp story in here. That's the one. Dennis Camp is a friend of mine. He did Maxwell's Demons over at Vault. He was an amazing creator. He's got big stuff coming on the horizon. But he did the story of the little girl staring out the window, drawing the pictures to make sure that the dude wasn't so lonely out there on the street. Oh, I love that. The other one I want to mention, Lonely Receiver.
Oh, yes.
This book was fucking weird, man, but I loved it. It's like a really weird, cerebral, dark horror sci-fi thing about relationships. And it really got deep in that. And Jen Hickman, their artwork is phenomenal. Yes. They're the same artist on Moth and Whisper and on Test. And what's amazing about their work to me is that it shifts and changes according to the story. And then Zach Thompson, who was a co-writer on Undone by Blood, such an amazing talent. He did one of the best horror comics of the entire year was a one-shot comic he did called The Replacer. Dylan, if you've never read The Replacer, you need to because you will love that book. I may still have copies. I'll let you know. Lonely Receiver was weird, and I was shocked as hell when Will the Beast from Hero had this as pick as week. I was like, how in the hell did Sean let him read that? Way too much for him.
I read the caption for that, and it was on my. Didn't get the book, but just reading the caption, what they said about the book, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have so much fun with this one.
Like a lesbian love affair, and Will's like, this is my pick of the week this is my pick of the week because it's such a challenging read, and I don't understand. Yeah. It was the lesbian sex scene, I'm sure. But by the way, very weird, very weird. I saw plenty of weird sex scenes when I was Will's age. And I still love those movies today. And the other one, real quick, is this is the best book I've ever read from Mad Cave Studios. Oh, wow. Stargazer #1. Oh, my goodness. I loved it. Teen Dog Shades appropriate. It's about an alien experience these kids have, and now they're grown up, and it's starting to happen again. And, oh, my goodness, Antonio Fuso, who was the artist on a book called Weird that was written by Kurt Pyers, the writer of Olympia. I really like his art style. It's really cool. Got a great wraparound cover as well. The coloring is all done in these like shades of blue and purple and pink and red. And it's such a beautiful book. And it was totally Teen Dog Shades appropriate. And I loved it. So there are 3 indies I wanted to spotlight.
Nice.
Yeah. Stargazer was such a good book. I mean, it highlights so many different things. And I mean, for the first showing for Anthony, I can't remember his last name.
Cleveland.
Anthony Cleveland. I actually interviewed him.
You had him on his show. Yeah. That's it.
And man, phenomenal. I was waiting for that to come out. I've actually read it twice since I first got it, and
I want that issue 2 so bad. I've had issue 1 for like 5 months now.
Yeah.
Is it on the Mad Cave Hub yet? It might be on the hub. Do you have access to their Mad Cave Hub? Should I not have said that, Dylan? My bad.
No.
No. Here we're flexing.
I do. No, I have physical.
Weren't you on a stream with Anthony too, Dylan?
No, Mark, the CEO of the company.
Okay, and you've been on streams with Justin plenty, right?
Yeah.
Justin was the letterer. Yeah,
he was just in the chat. I love Justin. He lettered that book.
I cannot wait for people to read Sea of Sorrows. Speaking of Justin, that's a great
one. Yep. He showed me a little bit.
I'm glad you like Stargazer, man. If anybody out there likes UFO and alien abduction stories, Stargazer's for you.
Dude, it
was the best debut I've ever read from Mad Cave. And I think they do great work. One of my friends works for them. And I should be like, no, Jay's books are the best. No, Stargazer. Jay, you got your work cut out for you.
It went to a second print too for Mad Cave to go to the second print. I thought that shows like how good that story is going to be, man.
Yeah. I think another thing about Stargazer that's really well done is how they handle autism as well, and that was another thing that we really wanted to highlight inside of that book. So there's a lot going on there that's just really well done.
Yeah. The artwork, let alone, is just like one of the coolest and trippiest things I've ever seen. Like just the way they captivate that story and all the it's just
the color palette's amazing.
It's beautiful. I really can't wait. I think I saw like some panels for the upcoming issues because I've been waiting for that. Like they were gonna release it right before the lockdown, so they had sent me copies, Mark did, and I read it. I'm like, oh my! I think I reviewed it on my channel because I was I was like, it's not coming out for months now, but that's gonna be one. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Something I was gonna say about it too, but I forget now. Because I don't know. Forget it though. I always forget. All right, Bueller, you got a few you want to name off, my brother?
Look at the weird stretches from Kevin down there. 1-2 Comic Top. I've read the first 2 issues.
Yeah, me, Kevin, and Rod, we interviewed the guy, all the people that are doing Sea of Sorrows. Rich, Alex.
Yeah, I know Rich. Rich is my homie. I know Rich.
Yeah, Rich is a good guy. Alex Cormack, I was so excited to talk to, bro. Like Justin I talk to all the time. We had Justin, Alex, and Rich. But Alex, the artist of Sync, bro.
Yeah. And Road of Bones, because they all work together on Road of Bones. Rich, by the way, Rich Dueck is the next Garth Ennis. You just wait.
Dude, he's crazy good, bro. He writes some phenomenal stuff. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bueller, you can go now.
So I think that we need to, as much as we love independent books, I guess we got to give a little bit of love to Marvel as well, because we really get too much Marvel stuff. this episode.
I said Strange Academy.
We said 2 hours, one Marvel book. Yeah, but
I mentioned X-Men.
yeah, but we have apparently we got a new Thor. So there's some random dude driving a pickup truck. He's the new Thor, so that was interesting. And then apparently the Scorpion is the virus is Scorpion.
Yeah.
So,
And Dylan is Codex.
yeah, Dylan. Yeah, Dylan. So we got to find out everyone who is everyone, I guess. And great stories. Don't get me wrong. I like the interaction in Thor between Beta Ray Bill and Thor, just kind of sitting having dinner together, talking about things.
Sorry, I broke your hammer.
Yeah, exactly.
My bad, bro.
Yeah, and but that was a lot of fun. I thought Venom was another book that was just action-packed, a lot of really cool stuff going on there. You can tell he's just kind of ramping up for what's coming next and stuff. I actually enjoyed that new Hulk book that came out this week, the little one-shot.
Nice.
I thought the artwork was a little weird on the Hulk character itself. I thought the proportions of Hulk were like really bizarre. Like he was like holding people in the palm of his hand like he was King Kong or something like that.
I couldn't get there. This is a variant. I couldn't get the main for my shop.
And he's just killing people. I mean, he's literally like, oh, this just average guy just kills him, or whatnot. I was like, okay, it's a little darker than normal Hulk books. But I thought it was a good little one shot. You don't need to read it for anything, it is what it is.
Yeah, I like that.
Definitely read that one. So I just wanted to share some Marvel books.
It's got a very exaggerated graffiti type style to it.
Yeah. I mean, it was like the Hulk had tumors on his head or something like that.
Yeah, the brow, dude.
Yeah, a little bit of Hellboy stuff. Yeah, he just squeezes that guy, pops in. The guy's eating popcorn, and he just squeezes the guy's head off.
I love it. This goes into the idea that Immortal Hulk's like a horror comic, right? So yeah. Don't say he didn't warn you. I love it.
Doesn't have any hesitation.
That Hulk looks really weird.
We got Daredevil came back. Daredevil 21?
21.
21 came back. Tony Stark and stuff was in there, so that was kind of fun. You know what? I'm not reading too much more than just those from Marvel as far as reading books. I'm not on the X-Men stuff anymore. And Robbie got that covered for me, so why bother? I'll just listen to what Robbie tells me, and that's good enough. I save my time, don't have to read anything. And besides Venom, Thor, and Daredevil, I think that's really the only 3 books I'm reading right now on a regular basis from Marvel. So, but I liked them all, so I'm pretty happy with them. There you go.
I've been enjoying Maestro. Surprisingly, I didn't think I thought that was just going to be some cash grab, but Maestro's been really good, actually.
Yeah, I did read the first one. I thought it was pretty decent. I read the first. What was the other new one that came out? I read a part of the Juggernaut. I thought that was all right. And there was another one the same week. Oh, the She-Hulk one. I thought She-Hulk was okay. I don't know if it was just one.
You think you like that Shang-Chi? Because I actually kind of wanted to get it after Firepower's been freaking awesome. So it got me into the kung fu stuff, but I was like, eh.
Do you like Bleed Them Dry?
Yeah.
Same artist.
Artist. Yeah.
That's what I thought I heard that. Yeah. And
Gene-Luen Yang is the writer, and he's a great, fantastic creator. So
it's a solid first read. It really is.
This is Jay Strick said the new Iron Man was pretty good. I got the first one, and then I found out that Alex Ross is doing all the A covers for that now too. So
you're getting them.
Yeah, so
that's why I didn't jump in. I wanted that A cover.
Alex Ross, Captain America, Mortal Hulk.
I'm still on Captain America because of that shit. I at least enjoy Immortal Hulk, but Captain America, I don't hate. It's just not really that good though. I've been reading it all the way through, but yeah, the covers are just spectacular.
Yeah,
and just to clarify for the chat out there, Jay Strick's talking about the new Iron Man #1 by Christopher Cantwell, not the Iron Man 2020 stuff.
Yeah.
That was
which was the biggest disappointment in my comic book life. I've been waiting my whole life for Iron Man 2020, and it happens, and it's garbage.
Yeah.
God.
I read that new Iron Man. I thought it was okay, but I thought the Iron Man character, the artwork, and he looked really young and just kind of a little goofy. I thought it kind of took me away from the story.
I can dig that.
Yeah, I hear that. I think the way Cantwell wrote Tony Stark inside of this was so spot on because he's so pretentious and he doesn't even realize it. And
it's better than his Victor, I would say.
For sure. That's for sure. So is it my turn at this point?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to run through these real quick. Maestro was one of the books that I thought is phenomenal from Marvel. Shang-Chi was definitely a solid first read. From AWA, I've been enjoying Old Haunts. This wasn't as good as the last issue, but really, really good.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. I really enjoyed this first issue of Miles to Go. I thought that was a pretty cool read. I don't know if you guys read that one. Of course, Daredevil number 22. I love the return. Of course, the artwork wasn't as solid inside of this one. I don't know who the guy was. Whatever. He just didn't do as good as our normal guy is on there.
I was like, I can't pronounce that.
Yeah. I've really been enjoying Nailbiter Returns by Joshua Williamson and Mike Henderson. That's been a fun read. I think this issue was the best so far in the series. I've been enjoying Seven Secrets. I thought issue 2 was solid. Of course, Heavy was really well done. I can't wait to see where they go with that. Canto 2. Did I mention Canto 2?
I think you did.
Side of this. I love this book. I just love Canto. You guys have been reading. And then the sleeper of the month, the one that I thought was going to be the one that I hate the most, even though I paid the $10 for it. Detective Comics 1027, y'all.
What a great book.
What amazing stories inside of this.
Every single one almost.
Who would have thought that Bendis would write a good Batman story?
They need to get him and Malieb on Detective Comics, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's where he belongs.
Those are all ones that I wanted to mention because we only have so much time. But and then I'm behind on a bunch of stuff. But
dude, that Detective Comics, that's the best of those overshot. Those
I still gotta read it.
One shots. You didn't like that one, Bueller?
Not very good.
I haven't read it.
What did Bueller say?
I said those last two are not very good.
Oh man, that 1027 to me was amazing.
It was $10, man. Already.
It's 144 pages, Bueller. It's a trade paperback.
Excuses.
You know whatever. I don't mind it. I loved it.
Bueller will read it when he gets it for $1.
Bro, I know you guys read this.
Yeah, good book.
Absolutely. I just showed it.
What do you guys think? I've been meaning to talk
Me and
about
Bueller and Bob read that months ago, Dylan.
I forgot about it.
Oh, whoop-de-doo, Basil.
I think Tom Taylor has set up a great premise. I've been enjoying it so far. I can't wait to see where it goes next. I'm kind of concerned on what the actual 7 secrets are going to be. I mean, I get so built up on something, and I hope I don't get let down. But we'll see what happens.
I'm excited to see what they do there.
Hopefully, he doesn't let us down.
Oh, and then one last one. This was amazing. I've read it 3 times now. The Joker Harley. The first time I read it, I wasn't as sold on it as some of the last issues, but this is a really solid issue.
So I should reread it, you're saying?
Yes, most definitely.
Okay. I'm liking the book. It's like 7 meets Gotham.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, so good.
Bummer. There's one book by Steve Niles I wanted to talk about, but I can't find it. I have that, but it was called The Grieving. I haven't read The Possessed yet.
Yeah, we never got our copies of issue 2. We were shorted, and we've never gotten them. I read 1 and I liked it, but
A Grieving?
Yeah, but we never got our number 2s. But The Possessed, I thought, was actually better. The Possessed had really good haunting artwork. Yeah, it's a ghost story involving the Holocaust, man. It's always going to happen.
Yeah. I'm like having trouble seeing if I'm going to be able to get issue 2, so I was like nervous about.
You just holler if you have trouble, bro.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
But my shop actually stocks independent comics, and we stock them.
I know. Right? I know.
There's this guy named Robbie there. He's a little pretentious. He's a little full of himself at times. He bought this fucking expensive microphone.
Yeah,
but
we put that out on Monday's coffee video, Robbie.
He's a little full of himself.
What'd you say?
So we point that out on Monday's coffee video this week.
Really?
I think we say not about the microphone, but just how cocky you are or something.
It's all part of the act. Trust me.
It's good stuff, man.
when we turn off the cameras, I go and I just sit with my cats and I just
I think we said something like, "Yeah, Robbie's pick of the week. He went with the easy pick yet again."
It's going to lose me Thunderdome this week. I'm just going to say that because I think the Three Jokers has gotten the most picks. But Dylan, do I have time real quick to just run through a bunch real quick? Then we're nearing the end of the show. I got to say something about this. We were talking about Rom V. This was the best issue of Catwoman I've ever read since Ed Brubaker and Darwin Cook took over. This was amazing.
My LCS shorted me on that one. I still haven't got it yet.
Dude, it is so good. Let me show you something. Look at the artwork there.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my goodness, dudes. Like, it's so freaking good. So this is an exercise thing, and the main story is a Joker War tie-in, but it actually has a little bit of meaning because it's how Batman gets the money back, right? Then it has a story in which Ron B's setting up his new direction and new setting for Catwoman because this is the first issue of – he's done some tie-ins here and there, some fill-ins, but this is the first issue of Ron B's now Catwoman run. And then it's got a last issue, which is totally told from the perspective of a stray cat.
Oh.
And it is absolutely fantastic. I think that's the best issue of Red Mother we've had yet.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah.
And we keep saying it's a slow burn.
This last one was not.
This is 8 issues in. And actually, when you think about it, a lot has happened in 8 issues. So, yeah. 10 of Swords.
I haven't read it yet. I have it, but I haven't read it yet.
Giant story, apocalypse-centric. This stuff has been, it's huge, and I love it, and it's fantastic. This is the book that lost me my first Thunderdome, but I don't care because Bill and Ted are awesome. This is most non-heinous. This was awesome. Evan Dorkin working in concert with Ed Solomon, who's the co-creator of Bill and Ted, along with Chris Matheson. Chris Matheson, friend of the show. I've had him on, actually. He's a really cool dude. But Evan Dorkin did the Bill and Ted books back in the 90s. They brought him back to tell the story that takes place between Bogus Journey and Face the Music. And if you're a Bill and Ted head like me, this book is essential. You'll love it. Yeah. And Station. Heavy, like Bob said, this book was awesome. Do you remember when Punisher went all angelic and he was like going to be doing work for demons or angels? And, you know, he was this badass assassin working for heaven or whatever. And it sucked. It was like the Sponisher is what I always call that. This is that story done right.
Oh, good point.
Kanto.
Nope.
So good.
Nope.
Gideon Falls. Wow. Let's talk about some crazy comic book page layouts.
Wow.
Look at that.
I still can't wait to get into that book.
This book only has 2 issues left, and the last issue is like 80 pages. And I'm loving it. And sleeper hit of the month. I looked at this book and I was like, well, I shouldn't even read this book. It just looks like garbage and trash. I was really damned impressed with Brooklyn Gladiator, y'all.
Really?
Yeah, I'm really nervous. I don't want to like flip through it and show you like, you know, like ban Dylan from YouTube because I'm showing nudity or whatever. But this book was really freaking cool. Great concepts. Really interesting art.
That's the one by Heavy Metal, right?
Yeah, it's by Heavy Metal. It's Simon Bisley on the artwork, or is it Bisley?
Bisley.
And Dan Fogler is the writer. He's actually an actor. Crazy, weird stuff. If you like early 2000 AD, early Morrison, if you like subversive, in-your-face, gritty, hardcore sci-fi, that book really blew me away, and I was incredibly surprised. And Fable, my man, Station, Brooklyn, Gladiator. You know what I'm saying. But those were my favorite books of the week, of the month. All of that stuff that we talked about, like so many great books. I think this is probably one of the strongest months of 2020.
We've said that like the last 3 months in a row.
That's good though, right?
It's true, you know, because we were, you know, obviously we took a break from doing this because there was no books, you know, for a few months, and here we are, you know, having these conversations about all these books, and it's just some really great stuff coming out every week. So.
And I just love having these conversations with y'all about the books, about the content, about the story, the subtext, the artwork, and not just about what covers were the best, or what was the best first appearance, or what was the best steal of the, you know, like we talk about the books, and that's what this industry is. The people that read the comics, that love these stories, that love these characters, that love this art form. That's what we got to share the love of. And that's what's going to grow this industry beyond more than anything else, is when people realize what's inside of these books. They are absolutely phenomenal. And if you are one of those collectors, because you all exist, that don't read your books, y'all gotta read these things because they are awesome. They're some of the best, most original stories that you will. And one of the reasons why we're always talking about indie comics is because look at movies and TV. Everything's an adaptation. Everything's a sequel. Where do you get original ideas and concepts?
Yep.
Comic books. You don't get this stuff on TV until TV or movies decide to adapt this stuff. So this is the most pure form of storytelling to me is comics, and I just love the hell out of this medium.
Comic purity.
Yeah, for you collectors out there who collect and don't actually read, thank you for supporting the comic book industry.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. You're right.
But you're missing out. You could be getting so much more of this goodness. I mean, look at our passion when we talk about this stuff and how into it we are because the stuff is good.
I'm pure speculation. Pure speculation.
You know you are, bro.
I purely speculate. I
agree. You're a pure spec, but
when you guys ask me about these books, I just make stuff up.
Look up the solicits real quick just to see.
That
make it up.
Y'all need to really get this one though.
Yeah, I got it. I was in for all the. I didn't know Ram V was on it, and then I was like, yes, dude, because I love Ram. Dude, you got me hip to Ram V from that. Oh no, what is that book? The Trade
Savage Shores.
Oh my God, one of the best books ever. Whew. I love that book, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to reread that too for Halloween. I'm bummed I can't find that Grieveling book, man. Like I don't know what I did with it. So I wanted to show some panels to see like it's a great Halloween story. I feel like perfect. Like, dude, I was reading that and I just put my flashlight on it, and that coloring in that book, the purples and the tones like in the cemetery were really good. Issue 2, the first issue was the best. Issue 2 kind of leaves it open-ended, like they could go further, but who knows. So, but I am excited for the Possessed. I think issue 2 is supposed to come out like in the next week or so. Like it's weird because
it came out this week, bro.
Did it?
Yeah, did you not watch the weekly comic book review?
I didn't see it. No, I was sick. I watched half of it and I was sick, remember? I
think it was the last one I talked. No, issue 2's out now. It's out.
All right, you got to pull me a copy because my shop didn't get me one.
I'm not back at work till Monday. Send me a message.
That's fine. No rush. I'll hit you up Monday.
He says that, but this dude hassles me all the damn time. He's like, "Did you pull that book for me yet?"
Yeah. forgetting my Ranger Slayer, bro. I have to. I gotta be on your
You
eye.
got your damn Ranger Slayer.
Yes, I did. Thank you, sir. You know, I'm just kidding. And I got. Oh man, I don't know. I'll save it.
We are trying to get Dylan to 1K as soon as we can, everybody. We want to do it by Halloween. If not, by the end of the year, y'all sub up to Dylan. Every 4th month, it's going to be here, the monthly meetup. Usually on Saturday nights, we've been doing these streams, these after-hours Horror Fest streams. You know, if you've been enjoying Horror Fest with me on Mummy Monday and on Friday night, and then the after show with Dylan is one of my favorite things to do. So much fun.
I wish I could be there for the Monday with streams too, man.
I always like being on streams with Dylan because he like some part during the stream he starts to clean his room, and that's all I'm gonna watch.
God, bro, gotta keep it tidy, bro.
For like 5 or 10 minutes out of the stream, he'll just turn around and start cleaning things up.
He'll be like, "Oh man, they can see this. Let me hide my tissues and lotion."
Yeah.
I love it.
Right next to his Grim Fairy Tales.
My tissues are in the tissue box, sir. That's where they come from.
That's where they come from, magically.
Where do they go?
It's just and not a whole supply of tissues. It's just nonstop.
It's getting a bit weird.
Tissue after tissue.
Tissue, to be young again, right?
Oh my God. Is there any other Is there any other
tissue?
Leave me alone, Mom. I'm practicing guitar in here.
I always think of that one scary movie when he's like, "I told you not to disturb me while I'm cleaning my room." And they're like, And then his sister would be like, "Why don't you stop shoving your dick in the vacuum cleaner?"
I missed
Oh
that.
my! It was,
Bob's like, man, I got to get out of here.
Yeah, I do.
you can't keep us more than 2 hours, then we get too wild.
Yeah.
Is there anything else anyone wanted to mention before we were gone? Any other last book, or we think we got it all out? I think we're good. I don't know if there's one last book anyone wanted to mention.
Dylan, I got one thing. Can I do a screen share?
Yeah.
All right. I want to show this, and I might as well do it now.
Okay. Oh, nice. There we go.
So this book will be out later this month. This is Devil's Red Bride. I know a few of you are already familiar with it. Right now, this is the first unofficial Comics with Bueller variant. This is something that I've been in the works with these people for the last couple of months. The artist is Clara Mies. She was the artist on kind of drawing a blank.
Midnight Vista.
Midnight Vista. Thank you.
Oh, really?
Artist for that series, one of my favorite series. She's a really good friend of mine. She sent us books to giveaways. I've talked to her many times, and now she's getting to work on this book. She did the exclusive cover for this book, and this one is available right now. It's going to be sold out, I'll tell you already, because we really pushed this hard on Monday's copy video. There's only 125 available online right now, and they probably already sold a chunk of those, obviously, already, because I mentioned this on my other channel. A bunch of people already bought it. So these are available at dakotacomics.com, and you can get them right now. You can pre-order. This is a new series, comes out in the middle of the month. It's going to be pretty hot, and I'm pretty honored to be partnered with them. And like I said, it's unofficial because I don't make a dime on this book. I kind of just wanted to be a part of it and give them my time, and I want to help promote this comic shop that's kind of been struggling, and I want to help promote this artist that needs to get more gigs, to be totally honest. And so that's kind of why I partnered up with them, so to do my part. So go check it out, dakotacomics.com. It's available right now. I think it's $14.99, and it's I think the print run is 625 copies, and they're dividing it up between 3 different stores. The main store is who I'm partnered with, so they only have a couple hundred copies, and they're only selling 125 online. So once they're gone, they're gone. So there you go, man. I wanted to share that with your audience there, Dylan. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course, dude. I love the cover, by the way, too, man. Really.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Really
I mean, cool. If you're familiar with her artwork, just go look her up on Instagram, dude. Her artwork, I call it Disney with an attitude. And because if you look at the eyes, and that's one thing I really noticed, her work on the eyes of the characters that she's drawn are just awesome. I mean, it draws you in.
It's very expressive, man.
Yeah, it all starts with eyes, and this is a perfect example.
Hey, man, how many unofficial copies are you going to have to send out to your YouTube friends?
I don't know. Here's the thing. They're sending me some copies. I told them they didn't need to be honest, because I really feel as though he's going to sell out. But he said that he's going to next day air me some. We're going to give some away. Robbie, you want one? You got it. Dylan, you want one? I'll give you one too, buddy.
Already bought mine.
Yeah, Bob already bought one. I told him I'm going to give it to you. But you guys are in. I'll make sure you guys get a copy. How about that?
Thanks, bro. I love the cover, so that'd be an awesome one to add to the collection. Have a Bueller exclusive. First exclusive ever.
I kind of feel bad though now, because Bueller's like, I wanted to partner up with the shop. They've been struggling. They need help. And I'm like, hey man, give me one of them. Give me one of them. Give me one.
How many are they sending you, dog?
I mean, it's Robbie can, Robbie's right here with us. Robbie, during the pandemic, they had to shut down or close to shut down, and you have to adapt and find other avenues to make money. And that's what this shop had to do. They had to close down. They didn't have another choice. They made a website and started selling some stuff online. And luckily with that, it's helped them keep the doors open for the time being. And to do an exclusive variant, it's not cheap to do. They had to pay for the artwork. They had to pay for the artist. They actually bought the original artwork as well.
Nice.
And they had to buy the books. So it's not a guarantee. But if you can get someone, with more of a reach than just the local town where they're in, because that's who they're selling to. And luckily I have the ability to kind of have a better reach for them, I'm pretty sure that they'll be successful and be able to sell out their books, and that's kind of my goal. So looking forward to selling them all out by Monday. That's the goal. That's when mainly my audience will find it. So if you want to get it right now, I tell you, get it right now, because they'll be all gone by Monday evening. So
You out there right now in the PCP Army, the Bueller Army, the Everything Comics Army, and the Dylan Squadron. Y'all go out there and I'm just kidding. The Dylan Army too. Dylan's part of the Excitable PCP crew, and I expect y'all are part of my crew. Y'all,
yeah, I'm in the PCP Army, man. I'm a member.
Y'all are part of the PCP Army, 100%. And y'all go out there and support this right now and pick it up and help this shop.
Hell yeah.
And Fable wants to know where the PCP exclusive is. Well, as Bueller just said, it's not cheap to make one of these things. So
Yeah.
It's not. It's a thing. It's and it's a risk. That's the thing.
It's a risk. Yeah. They're putting their money on the line up front.
Yeah.
Plus, my idea is really out there. Like, I want to not have an artist, but I want to get a Ditch a Bitacar to do an exclusive cover, just lettering.
Oh my god.
I'm already doing that with you only find them when they're dead.
Yeah, right.
But in the future, I will be doing an official exclusive with them, and my logo will be on it and stuff like that. I'll be pitching in to help purchase all these books and doing my part and stuff like that. The comic shop's the one to put up all the money on this, and that's why I want all the attention to be on them and to hopefully help them out. So it's dakotacomics.com. You can check it out right now. Like I said, it'll probably be sold out by Monday night. So
Yeah, support your LCS, support Bueller, and support Vault Comics. Great indie creators like Clara Meath. Hell yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we better end this thing because I got to get going, guys.
All right, yeah. Anyone, Robbie, did anything you wanted to mention you got going on before we bounce out?
Just the usual stuff, but I do want to point out once again, Horror Fest. Horror Fest on Friday nights, 9 p.m. Next week, we're doing Reanimator. And if you missed the other ones, we had a great 3-hour conversation last night about the Romero Dead films. We had a lot of fun. We got deep about it. And that's why we're the PCP Army, and that's why we're the crew, and that's what we do.
Hell yeah. Bobby, my man, you got something you want to say, or are you good?
I was sorry that I missed that one last night because I'm a huge Romero fan, and I would have loved to have weighed in on that. But I just want to say thank you guys for supporting my channel, Everything Comics. I finally was able to put out a review video this morning. Of course, the last couple of weeks have been really, really rough. So that'll drop 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. You'll be able to see that. And eventually, we'll set the battle draft back up. Really sorry that had to get canceled. But real life things happen, and but it will happen. Battle for Hell's Kitchen is going to happen, y'all. So
give us time. Give us time.
Me too.
And
I love my leader, and it's going to piss Robbie off so much.
All right.
I'm excited then.
Yeah.
You see him, he's like.
So that means that when you do reveal your leader, I'll be like, that's a good pick, Bueller.
Oh, yeah. You'll love it. You'll love it. It'll piss you off as well.
Mine might just include a character named Ghost Thrasher. I'm just saying.
I figured you would.
And just so you guys know, next month we will be on Bueller's channel. He will be hosting the next monthly live stream. So be sure to be there next month, or it'll be at the end of October. Last week of October, be there. We'll see you guys. Thank you as always, man. You guys have a great night.